Again, we have another special guest in the studio, Charlotte. Very excited about this because we've seen this team out and about doing their amazing work in the community. Good Neighbour is what they are called, and we have got the big boss, Renee, in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we are going to find out so much more about what you and your team do for the community here in the Bay of Plenty region, which is truly amazing. But first, let's jump into your feature, Charlotte.
Yes.
And let's put you on the spot
Cool.
with a couple of questions, all right?
Great.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
So looking forward to getting to know you better with this one. And it's called Say After Me. So I'm going to read out some statements and you can repeat with your answer. And the first one is, the best thing about living in the Bay of Plenty is...
The best thing about living in the Bay of Plenty is the walks along the beach.
Oh, yes.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Let's do that soon. Number 2, 3 things I couldn't live without would be...
3 things I couldn't live without would be coffee, my family, and the beach.
Tick, tick, tick.
Beautiful.
I
Love
agree.
it. Love it. Number 3, everyone in this region must.
Everyone in this region must walk up the mount or around the mount.
When was the last time you went up the mountain?
Too long. Been too long.
Probably about the same time as when I did, right?
Yeah, might need to work on the fitness levels first. But yeah.
True that. True that.
And the final one is, the last place I went out for a treat was...
Oh, the last place I went out for a treat was Picnica.
Oh, we have to stop back into that place, don't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah,
we
I
do,
love that
we
place.
do.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of a voucher that we need to use. So yes,
You should do that. It's a
Yeah.
great spot.
What
Yeah.
recommendations of what to eat?
I just love all their tappers, actually. They have
Yeah.
some really good ones. Just get them all and put them all on the table.
That's the best.
Nibble
way to
away
go.
with a nice glass of wine.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. That's the way to eat,
Yeah,
I reckon, these
I
days.
agree.
Can't
Yeah.
beat it because then you get a bit of everything, don't
Yeah.
you?
So a
Yeah.
question off the back of that then, Renee. I know what this one's answer would be. But there's one last piece of food
Yeah.
on the last plate. Do you go and eat it or do you offer it to someone else?
Yeah, I'd never eat it.
No!
No, I couldn't.
Oh, Renee!
I'd just be like waiting and, if it was
Yeah.
very clear that no one was going to eat it, I couldn't handle it being wasted either.
True. Okay.
Well, I think for me it depends what it is.
Yeah.
Actually, it depends on what it is and who it is. Because if it's something that's chocolate in any way related, it's just something that my husband and I know, it's going to be mine.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't question that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, that's so good. All right, Renee. Well, yeah, thank you so much for your answers. Yeah, I love them. Now, let's tap into Good Neighbour because we were talking before of just the scope of what Good Neighbour's all about.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just really curious, how long has Good Neighbour been around for?
Yeah. We turned 11 June this year. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's been 11 years this year. It's pretty exciting.
Everything that's happened in 11 years would have been just some crazy things that would have just been dealt out to
Absolutely.
the community, right?
Absolutely.
We had
Yeah.
COVID.
Yep. COVID, I mean, that was massive for Good Neighbour. That really, I guess, developed our food systems in a huge way, especially our food rescue and our kitchen with our community meals. Obviously, we had to change everything about how we did what we did, but COVID was massive for Good Neighbour, yeah.
And so was it a group of people that came together and said, look, let's do some stuff for the community, or how did it all come to fruition?
We've got this incredible guy called Cam, and he's still on staff now.
Oh, cool.
And so he basically just felt like he needed to do more in the community. He wanted to be more of the answer to the needs out there. So he gave up his job. He supplemented his family's income with window washing and working at a local fruit and veggie store. And in every bit of spare time he had, he would look up at the paper, find out where the needs were, and he would just turn up and start helping. And that really kind of attracted attention, and he was joined by others that we call co-founders. So together they really made Good Neighbour what it was. So it all started very much with just sort of backyard projects, fence painting, anywhere the need was. Good Neighbour was there. So that was the very beginning of Good Neighbour.
Even though what it's called, a Good Neighbour, like it makes me go back into my memory and think when I was a kid, actually the neighbours that were around our household
Yep.
was like, they were amazing. They always helped
yeah.
out. Like,
Yep.
they'd give
Yeah.
you some
Yep.
stuff if you need it, like
Yep.
butter, milk, all that kind of stuff. Geez, it's a flashback.
Yeah, lots changed since then. It's not quite the same, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Cam actually has a great neighbour experience, and it's very much one of the first type of projects he did.
Right.
When was actually someone in his neighbourhood, a younger guy, broke into his house and robbed the house.
Wow.
And took heaps and heaps of stuff. Anyway, he was found, and so he went to court and all that kind of thing for what he had done. And Cam, who was there, said, "Hey, could he do his community service hours with me and what I'm doing with Good Neighbour?" And so he basically helped him paint fences and that kind of thing. And he turned up wearing one of the T-shirts that he had stolen, actually, which is just awesome. But that was really very, very much where like the need started to develop, from just sort of helping out to like actually how can we change people's lives in doing what we do. So we're not just painting the fence anymore. We're now doing it in a way that actually helps other people change their trajectory too. And just to see the impact on this young guy who was, at the working with the person who he stole from.
Yeah.
And this person was saying, "Hey, I don't care what you've done.
That's like a
I
movie.
care about your world." Yeah.
It's like movie stuff right there.
It's pretty cool.
But
yeah.
it's such a powerful thing, right? Is
Yeah.
that it's really easy to punish people in a
Yeah.
way, but not really give them the gift of learning through some of these
Absolutely.
things. So,
Yeah.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Go Cam.
I know, his heart. And that's what still, comes through Good Neighbour to this day. That's where it started. And that heart's still very much in everything we do, which is great. Yeah.
So talk to me about the rest of the team that work with
Yep.
you. So you've obviously got a widespread team that
Yep.
do specialise in certain
Yep.
things.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we have people that they're more in our like food rescue operational kind of area. We have people that oversee more our social side of what we do. We have operations people. We have all sorts. But I think the key thing about our team is everyone's we do this together. We all have our roles, but we come together to do what we do, which I just love. I love that so much. No one's precious about their role. We just get it done. We just work together.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a refreshing way, eh?
Yeah, it's
Maybe we
awesome.
should implement that. I know I probably need to.
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say there's any like standout members of the team that just go like above and beyond?
Oh my gosh. I don't honestly think I could say that. Every single person would, I guess, be a standout in their own way. And I think it's kind of the togetherness of that makes us strong.
Yeah.
We're all very much like we empower each other to do what we do well. So instead of trying to do everything, we just like, hey, this is your lane. Why don't you take this? I think that's why we work together so well. We know each other's strengths and we work with that. I mean, obviously I have to speak to Cam. He's still on staff.
Yeah.
He's the guy where it all started. You can't help but say he's a shining star and Good Neighbour. He will always be a shining star and Good Neighbour. Yeah.
So you've been working with Good Neighbour for around about a year.
Yep, it's coming up a year now.
Woohoo.
I know.
So
yeah.
what would you say has been your biggest lesson learnt from working with Good Neighbour?
Oh my goodness. I think my lesson that I've learned is to never underestimate just how many underlying needs people may have. So they might come to you for food or something more at that practical level. And you can quickly say, oh, this might be why, but you've got to get to know the person. You can't just put out some sort of standardized approach to helping and caring for people. You have to get to know them. You have to understand the context of their situation, and you absolutely have to come without having any preconceived ideas, any judgment at all. You need to come into that situation, really get to know them, really get to know the backstory. And that way, if you can do that, you can really help them change the way they're heading. Yeah.
We're starting to pick up on the community groups that we're connecting with at the moment. That connection is one of the most important things and the starting point of a relationship with people that you're trying to help, right? Even just the slow and steady approach of trying to just make sure they feel comfortable is such a big part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we're very big about belonging and we're very big about community. We have over 300 volunteers. And so just in that community alone, you've got a lot of places that people can belong, a lot of spaces, a lot of teams. And so we find that just hugely helpful. Someone can come to us and they've got all sorts of stuff going on in their lives. Life is really hard, but they come to Good Neighbour, and it's a place where there's safety, it's a place where there's food, there's community, there's friendships, people believe in them. And so we have people come from all walks of life into even just our volunteering space, and they find family. And they realise that they're not alone. And we see that even that alone, without us offering any social services whatsoever, that belonging alone, we've seen change people's lives completely. So 100% connection is huge. And we can see how just with that, someone's whole outlook on life can be completely transformed, which is cool.
We were out at the Tauranga Community Food Bank recently, and we saw some of the team come and drop some goodies off.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was, and it was just really cool to see. They were just so invested. It was like they were busy in the mode. They were loving it.
Yeah.
Like you could see that sense of connection with the food bank team as well. It was just like so cool.
The energy was high, wasn't it?
Yeah. Our volunteers are just amazing.
Yeah.
Like they're so passionate. Everyone, it's just such a happy. People call Good Neighbour the happy place, like because it is. It just feels so good. Like and the people love to serve.
Yeah.
Which I think is just, it's wonderful to see, especially like, our truck drivers that are out and about in the community, and just bringing joy to where they go to, which is cool. But it's great.
So awesome. So for those that know nothing about Good Neighbour, what would you say, what do you do? What are all the components that bring it together?
I mean, it's just obviously a heart to help people, a heart to see the community change, a heart to see it transformed. We look for opportunities come towards us where we can sort of help, connect the resource that's already in our community to the need. We often say that the answer to the community's challenges and needs out there are already in the community. Sometimes it's just about trying to connect those two together. I mean, there's so many people out there that have resource and want to help, but literally don't know where to start. And so we're somewhere that someone can come to and say, hey, I've got this. What can you do with it? And we've got plenty we can do with it. And so, in very practical ways and in other, like, more deeper, I guess, ways in people's lives, we're able to connect what's out there in people's backyards and people's hands to those in need. And so I think that's a huge part of what we bring to the community is that connection as well. I guess we're very big and we love collaboration, and that's a big part of what we do. And it's not just collaborating with community but it's also with the agencies and the other charities as well that exist in Tauranga and Western Bay. It's really important to us that we come together as a wider team. I think that it's a together situation. It's a together we will transform our community.
Teamwork
approach.
makes the dream work.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
So I've seen it's not just about like food rescue stuff. I saw some firewood things.
Oh,
Good
our firewood,
And urban mahi as well. So what's that about?
Okay, so urban mahi. So we basically are just there when someone's in need and they don't have their own network.
Right.
So people find themselves in all sorts of emergency kind of crisis situations. Sometimes it's a domestic violence type situation and there's an emergency house move that's needed and there's not the network to help that person, and so we come in and we get them to a place of safety. It could be backyard projects where maybe there's health issues and the backyard has just got on top of them and maintenance feels impossible, and there's not a network, there's not the financial means to navigate that. So we're able to come and help those people. We're very much hand up in our urban mahi. That's how we approach it. We're not hand out. And so often what we do in that space is we actually educate. We help people to learn what it would look like to maintain property from the moment we leave so that it can stay maintained and doesn't get on top of them again. We offer a lawnmower lending service. So many times what the issue for a person is they just don't have the resource to be able to do it themselves. So they can come to us, they can get weed eaters, they can get lawnmowers free of charge. We fuel them up, ready to go, and they can do their own lawns and stuff, so we can get it done the first time, and then from there we can show them how they can do it themselves. So whenever we're doing urban mahi, we are very much focused on how do we now educate and help this whānau to continue on and be able to do it themselves, which is, I think, a very empowering thing for whānau to be able to do.
We've driven past the community gardens actually a couple of times.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so keen to go in there and have a look. So
absolutely.
Could you tell me more about what that's about?
Yeah, sure. We have 42 garden beds, and we have propagating tunnel houses up in Paispa as well. And so basically between the two, we're able to create a whole lot of vegetables, whole lot of produce that goes back into the community. And we're also using a whole lot of that produce in things like our community meals that come out of our kitchen. And so it's just a great way of generating food, helping to combat food insecurity in Tauranga. And it's a really cool place for people to come. We have a great volunteer team out there that really carry that garden, which is just amazing. And they come every week and just, look after them and make it happen for us. So, it's an incredible thing and a great if someone's looking for somewhere like a group to belong and sort of that has purpose, this is a great team to be a part of. So
I'm sure lots of learning goes on as well.
Yeah, lots of passing on of knowledge. We're not real sort of strict about one way, to do things right. Everyone has their own perspective on gardening, and it's quite cool that we can learn from each other. And
has anyone ever grown anything unusual?
Oh, there's all sorts of things that are unusual out there that I've never seen. But anyway, yes, often like our kitchen might have like, this is what we really need, but then the garden team, like to explore a bit too, so that's cool.
Yeah. And you were talking, we were talking before we came in here in regards to the lunch every day that you do.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Is it community lunch?
Yes, I love that. I mean, that kind of dovetails to one of our social service type programs as well. But so we have a community lunch every day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. And we did that because we have so many volunteers come through and we really wanted them to be able to come together. It's not just about what they do. We really believe that it's about belonging. And so that lunch was a way that our volunteers could stop and take time to get to know each other, and we're really doing life together. And so that's really where it came from, but it's just morphed, and we just say, hey, look, anyone can come. And so that's literally what it can be. Anyone can come. And so it's a really cool environment every day. During the school terms, we actually have the lunch prepared by the boys that are in our rangatahi order program. And so that's our youth development type program. And these boys, they're struggling to stay at school. They were from Tauranga Boys College. And so we partner with Tauranga Boys College to help these boys that are maybe heading in a direction that's not going to do well for them in their future. And before they go down that track, we're able to have the opportunity to impart different values and thoughts and perspectives into their lives and give them life skills such as cooking. And so they make all these beautiful meals for this community lunch every day. But we give them a whole lot of different life skills, whether it's budgeting, how to open up a bank account, how to prepare a CV, construction type life skills, mechanics, fishing even. Like, we try and expose them to all the sorts of things that would be helpful for them in their lives. Even basic hygiene and that kind of thing, just not assuming that somebody's got the same start as every other person. And so really trying to set them up for life in a way that maybe they haven't been able to. We have boys that really, I guess their pathway was heading towards really ending up in prison, living off the benefit. And we just show them that actually life can be different and they have got what it takes to have a different path. We show them who they are, what they're made of, the potential that's inside of them, and show them how they can access that, and just different career opportunities. So I love that program, and so that's a big part of our community lunch because they make it. So
you guys are the good neighbour.
yeah.
Literally, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is so cool, making a massive positive change in people's lives, and that's that's just one of the biggest gifts that you can actually give someone, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I love this.
Yeah.
What does 2025 look like for you?
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about 2025. I mean, our food rescue, we want to expand our physical footprint of it so that we can bring in more food. We're currently rescuing about 580 tonnes a year, which is over $4 million worth of food. Wow. So if you think about over $4 million worth of food would have been in the landfill if it wasn't rescued, and instead it's redirected into homes in need. And so we really want, there's more food that we can rescue, and partnering with more growers and just the people in our location so that we can do that. So we want to expand our physical footprint so we can rescue more food, get more food into the hands of those who need it. We also want to expand what we do with our kitchen. Last year we gave out 26,000 meals outside of the lunches, just to the community, dinners and that kind of thing. We want to expand what we can do there. There is so much more need than we're reaching, just particularly those that are facing real health challenges, but they don't have financial means for the normal sort of ready-made meal options out there. So yeah, just really sort of supporting people in that space. We're also expanding our volunteer into employment program as well, where we help people journey from a space where they're struggling to engage with employment, whether it's because they've got confidence barriers or whatever it is. We help them journey from wherever they're at and into employment and empower them to do that. So we're looking at expanding that so that we can offer that to so many more people than we currently are. Yes, I mean, that's just sort of the highlights that I can think of on the top of my head. But yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah, there's a few.
It's going to be a big, busy year for you and the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, it seems like there's just so much going on with Good Neighbour, which, to be honest, I wasn't fully aware of, like the actual full scope of what Good Neighbour was about. So there's probably more stuff that people, if they're curious, to find out exactly what it's all about.
Absolutely.
To head to your website, is that probably the best place?
Yeah, head to our website, absolutely. Or you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're just sort of obviously keeping it updated with what we're doing. So yeah, head to social media probably for the most, up-to-date information as it comes out. But yeah, our website too, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there any other ways that the wider community can get involved and get behind Good Neighbour?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we've got lots of different ways. We've got, for example, we have fruit picking, and so last year we rescued 36,000 kilograms of fruit from just all of our backyards, all of the fruit that would have been rotting into the grass in your backyard goes to homes in need instead. And so if you have a tree in your backyard, let us know. If you want to volunteer, let us know. If you want to contribute financially, let us know. We've got something going at the moment where with our firewood depot, where we rescue logs from the port, turn it into firewood. And at the moment what we're doing is we're asking people, hey, why don't you buy wood from us this year instead of somewhere else? Because when you buy it from us, it supports Good Neighbour to do what we do. But also we can pay it forward and buy cubes for somebody that couldn't afford to do so otherwise, help keep other people's houses warm this winter. So you can even help in that kind of way. So there's loads of ways actually. But just email us.
Get curious. Have a look.
Get curious, absolutely.
So if you had one message for the Bay of Plenty, what would be the message that Good Neighbour would like to give out?
Yeah. The message I'd love everybody to take hold of is that it's going to take the whole community to transform the community. We've all got a part to play. It's all of our responsibilities. Not everybody was born into the same childhood and don't have the same opportunity. And so I just really believe that it's all of our responsibility to be that for other people. And so we can all play a part. I see people that are those that we walk alongside and help, but they also play their part. They come and volunteer with Good Neighbour. So I think no matter what, is going on in your world, there is a part you can play. And so to encourage everybody out there to look what's in your own hands and see what can I contribute, what's in my backyard, what can I share with our community. I just think it takes an awareness, it takes your head to be raised higher, open your eyes, see the need, and look for community organisations that are already doing it. I think that when we team up with people that are already doing it well, the impact will go further than when we do it by ourselves. So, yeah.
Renee, you and the team at Good Neighbour, we appreciate you and all your hard mahi that you guys do for the community. And thank you so much for sharing what you guys actually do.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you. Feeling so inspired.